Hey everyone, welcome to a new Daily Watches video. Let's quickly dive to charts to see what could happen today. Well, first of all, let's kick it off with Eurodollar, and what we can see on the Eurodollar is that price is willing to break this trend line. If that happens, if we can break this trend line, we will get another zone in here, but preferably I want to see a zone right up to this trend line because this zone, this lower level underneath here is already mitigated, so I prefer to see this high being taken out and our demand zone being created and price flying up from there. Now, that said, moving over to DXY, and regarding the dollar, what we can see is that price is currently coming out of this supply zone. So we could see like some kind of pullback from the supply zone. However, long term, I am still bullish on the dollar. But for now, yeah, this supply zone could become in play, and price could start going there from here, like especially because we still have like this daily supply zone right up there. Like we still have this one, right? And price is currently touching this supply zone, so we might get a pullback, but I'm just anticipating on a further pullback, but I'm just waiting to see if we can eventually do get that or not. Because if that doesn't happen, then price can still be flying easily from here. It can still go up and take liquidity and things like that. But for now, yeah, a pullback is likely. That said, moving over to AUDUSD, and regarding the AUDUSD, price is still stuck in the range. Currently, it is at mid-range. Not really a lot to do, and not really gonna spend a lot of time on that one. It all depends on the dollar. NZDUSD, same scenario, still stuck in the range. We can break these lows, but for now, just range trading, not really a lot to do on NZDUSD. Regarding GBPUSD, it is breaking down. I wanted to get into a short. I am still willing to get into a short, but I want to see how price develops. Like if price stays too long below in there, then it could eventually break this trend line. So we got like this trend line in here. I don't really like it. Like what I prefer to see is price shooting up from here, then touching this entry and then making like another leg down, right? Like that's preferably what I want to see for GBPUSD, and eventually hopefully get back into this demand zone and maybe make like a pullback or something from there. For now, I am just bearish on GBPUSD. And that said, moving over to gold. And regarding gold, what we saw is that we had an entry point, however, got taken out unfortunately on that one. Right now we are in another demand zone, so we could get another leg up. However, keep in mind price is currently on top of this trend line, right? Like if we have the 4 hour, we have this trend line here. Price is currently on top of that. It is making a little bit of a pullback to the upside, but for now I don't really like to trade a trend line like that. So we could also easily just start moving down. Like the daily trend line in here was not broken. What we saw on the daily trend line is that price just made a swift rejection, but we never broke it. So two scenarios right now. It's possible that price starts moving down again. Or we start moving up again and we eventually break it. But for now, price is just stuck in this range. We are stuck mid-range. So either way, I want to see a break to the upside, like another leg up and price closing above the trend line, meaning that this 4 hour demand was in play, or either way, just this liquidity being taken out. But for now, we are just in a range. And if we have our range tool, what we can see right then is that we have this, right? So we have our range tool in here. Let's quickly draw to the other side. So we have our 0.75 level at the top and a 0.25 level at the bottom. It would still make sense for me if price starts moving to the 0.25, or break this 0.75 and break it to the upside. For now, I'm not really doing a lot. I'm just watching what price is going to do. If we're going to move back up and take like the 0.75 as a support and move up from there, or we're just going to break lower, break demand zone and go back to the 0.25 and preferably like break these lows. But that's a long-term thought for me. I just want to see either way, break to the upside, break to the downside. Simple as that. Going to the Bitcoin, and regarding the Bitcoin, what we saw is that I did not take this trade, but I had a possible entry in here. For now, price easily just broke the demand zone. Not really a lot to do on the Bitcoin right now. It is just highly bearish. We still have another demand zone lower in here. However, what I'm expecting for the Bitcoin is that we are going to visit some weekly demand. So right now, let's quickly go back to the daily. Right now, what we see on the daily is that this supply zone is active. It is in play. It is pushing price back down. We don't really have any major demand in here, only some daily demand, but the daily is bearish. So preferably if the daily is bearish, we need some weekly demand to push it back up. And unfortunately for most crypto investors, the only weekly demand is all the way below in there, around 50k, 40k levels, right below there. besides that, there isn't really a lot to do. There's a big gap in here that can easily be filled if price breaks the lows in here. And for now, we got like a third week in a row that price is bearish. So yeah, we could start to push down again, break the lows, and hopefully eventually go back to this demand zone so we can maybe pick up this whole trend, this whole overall trend in here again. So yeah, this is still a scenario. I am anticipating like a bigger drop to the downside, like at least like a 30% drop on the Bitcoin. And yeah, let's see, like we still have this daily demand in there. But for now, the best daily value in here was broken. We still have another one in here. Doesn't really look like it is very strong or it's going to help us to a new all-time high or something like that. Preferably what I'm expecting now is that we are going to visit back to our weekly demand and maybe from there pick up some longs again and maybe get another all-time high. For now, I am just bearish on the Bitcoin. So that's it. I'm going to close this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.